We are now in the second half of our basketball hostilities this afternoon, and we are live from Bahay ni Jawo in Valenzuela City. For our fourth game, we feature action from the 18 under from the North Division as we continue the live coverage of the country's premier youth basketball league, the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL. And for our games today, again, first set of three was between the Marikina Junior Shoemasters and the Manila City Ballers by Health Forum with Doc Atoy. For our second half of games, it's Valenzuela Progress going up against the Rizal Switch Fiber 18 under action. First on your way. And good afternoon, everybody. The name is Chong Pangilinan, covering the action with Coach Noy Africa and with our courtside reporter, Miss Nicole Lim. Coach Noy, one team at the bottom of the standings, yung isa naman on top.
Yeah, that's right. And for Valenzuela, even though they have a 4-2 record, very important for them not to become complacent against especially Valenzuela, currently at 0-5, looking still for their first win.
And first, let's talk about itong Valenzuela, the home team. They had a 5-point loss versus Manila in their last outing.
Yeah, and for Valenzuela, in that game against Manila, they allowed Manila to shoot more than, convert half of their shots, 52%. And also, they allowed Manila to shoot well from the outside, 8 out of 18 against us, 5 out of 22 for them, and also allowing Manila to outscore them heavily in the paint, 42-30. And the player to watch in that game for them, finishing with 15 points and 2 steals, Patrick Hugan, but he will definitely need a lot more help if they want to get their first victory.
Hopefully, Patrick Hugan can carry Valenzuela into their first win. Pero pag-usapan naman natin itong Rizal, 6-point win versus Davao.
Yeah, in that game, they hit almost half of their shots, 31 out of 64 for a very high 48%. They also out-rebounded the Davao Kingthorns 40-31 and able to convert their second chances 14-9 in that game. The usual suspect, Ray John Ladic, has been very consistent for the Rizal Switch Fiber in that game, finishing with 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist.
Again, two teams with contrasting situations as Valenzuela looking to notch their first win in their home court. Ito namang Rizal, the visiting antagonists, hoping to continue their winning ways. And without further ado, let's get it started. Let's turn it over now to Mr. Gio Cruz, our venue announcer.
Enjoyment continues here at Bahay ni Jawo in Valenzuela City for the continuation of Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2, ang Liga ng Bawat Batang Pilipino. We're live on the official FB page and YouTube channel of the Junior MPBL. Rizal Switch Fiber up against your Valenzuela Junior Classics in 18 other division. Now let's meet the starting lineups, beginning with Rizal Switch Fiber. Starting guard number 22, Chris D. Other guard number 47, Sean Vergara. Starting forward number 28, Alonzo Austria. Also at forward number 8, Sean Franco. Playing center, number 27, Axel Mendoza. Head coach for the Rizal Switch Fiber 18 under, John Necesito. Assisted by Jess Cobra Madanao, June Cuevas, Anthony Urbano. Team manager, Ariel Balahadia. And now let's meet the starting lineups from your Valenzuela Junior Classics. Starting guard number 2, John Lloyd Bohol. 2 guard number 7, John Rome Murillo. At forward number 6, James Laksa. Other forward number 15, Troy Perdido. Man in the middle, number 21, JV Ventura. Head coach of Valenzuela Junior Classics 18 under, John Velasquez, assisted by Rocky Padernilla, Pong de Guzman, EJ De Leon, team manager JB Garcia.
And our Doride, Bola ng Pinoy team starters for Rizal. We have D, Vergara, Austria, Franco, and Mendoza. For Valenzuela, we have Bohol, Murillo, Perdido, Laksa, Ventura. Once again, we're in our 18 and under division. And of course, a quick thanks to the following Doride, Bola ng Pinoy, pound for pound, B-Liga Ready, Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Don Benitos ang pambansang kasava, Drinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active for quality sportswear, Chris Jacobs Collection for affordable but quality daily perfumes, and Wing Bowl. It's like coming home as first bucket of the game belonging to Rizal, courtesy of Mendoza.
And that's right, and again, for Rizal cannot afford to be complacent against a team still trying to look for their first win. 0-5 itong Valenzuela, but I feel like they're starting to turn the corner and should be able to figure out things by now.
Coach, no, we've encountered some teams in the MPBL, in the junior MPBL, you know, despite being in the middle of our season, meron pa rin struggling teams talaga eh. So, what's the challenge in that? The mental stability you have to withstand those instances?
Well, I think the problem for Valenzuela so far, they do not have a go-to guy, especially on the offensive end. Of course, Ace Baldomero leading them in scoring 11 points. But if you know Ace Baldomero playing for Leyte before, he was not really a heavy scorer. He was more of a role player, but a very good one. As you see there, a three-pointer coming from Valenzuela.
And hopefully they can continue with those kinds of shooting. But as of right now, they get the ball back. Good defense on the side of Perdido getting the steal. Rizal now up by 1. Again, Rizal in the top portion of this North Division 18 under standings. As we see a three-point attempt that won't sink. And here comes Rizal. They almost lose the basketball. They're unable to hit. Another try. Still won't go for Rizal.
And you like how Rizal not starting with their main gun, Rajan Ladica. Also the same for Valenzuela not having Baldomero starting out for them.
Si Perdido will kick it out. They fire for 3. That will connect courtesy of John Lloyd Bohol.
And coming from experience, you do not leave John Lloyd's open here in the junior MPBL.
John Lloyd not wasting that one more chance.
Of course. You're always gonna have him at his best.
Meanwhile, looks like a whistle blown by our officials. Coach Noy, again, you've mentioned Rizal in the top portion of the standings. Kung mental stability naman ang labanan when you're at the bottom, sa taas naman, is it being complacent about your standing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course, these are still young players. Of course, we're in the 18 and under division, but still cannot really, what's the word? I'm trying to look for the word, but hindi mo talaga masisisi yung mga players for being complacent, especially when they look at the standings. 0-5 against 4-2. Even for those watching the games, they would think this would be an automatic win for Rizal. But that's why we play the games here. Dahil nga lagi namang bilog ang bola, so to speak.
And again, if you've watched our games in the season 1, alam mo yan na, you know, it's never impossible. As we see Mendoza once again scoring for Rizal Switch Fiber.
Still very early in the ball game, but Rizal being able to get those easy points in transition.
Meanwhile, the home team has possession. They almost lose it. But a foul going to be called on Rizal Switch Fiber.
Right now, it looks like Valenzuela looking to shoot from the long ball, already converting 2 out of 3 from the three-point area.
They have possession one more time. We have a deadlock at 6. Another fire won't go for Murillo. Perdido, offensive board in the paint. Looking for a teammate. Decides to go to the corner. They fire for a 3. That will connect. John Lloyd Bohol, one more chance.
Already with 2 threes in the ball game, and John Lloyd Bohol can easily catch fire. Cannot afford to leave him open.
How will Rizal respond? Mendoza firing a 3 of his own. Won't hit anything.
Well, not exactly the game of Axel Mendoza, but you'd like for him to develop that shot, and even the coaches did not flinch when he took that shot, giving him the thumbs up, something that he will need to develop moving forward.
Meanwhile, basket and 1. And the break. Talk about that move coming from James Mark Laksa. able to make it a 5-point lead, a chance to extend it as we take a look in this pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move.
That's a great read there by Laksa, especially with those three-pointers to open the game for Valenzuela. Rizal caught late on that closeout, and Laksa able to finish despite the defense of Axel Mendoza.
And there's the guy Coach Noy has been waiting for, Ray-John Ladica. As a bonus free throw going to be shot here by Mr. Laksa, and he completes a 3-point play, makes it a 6-point lead for Valenzuela. As you see Coach John Velasquez hopefully leading his boys in a hometown victory.
Of course, we are talking about Ray-John Ladica. You know, he's a real stat stuffer. 17 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and nearly 2 steals per game.
And definitely Rizal don't want to play longer na wala siya sa court. Valenzuela having the upper hand right now. They have a 4-point lead. Murillo gets fouled by Ladica. So that's 3 team fouls already on the side of Rizal.
That's something that Ray-John Ladica will need to control his aggression. And if you're the offensive player, you know he's gonna attack aggressively, going for those steals.
And again, Coach, that's gonna be a potential issue because nasabi mo nga kanina 0-5, ito naman 4-1, 4-2 rather. So kita mo yung disparity. So halatang or there's a possibility na gigil sila na matalo na itong Valenzuela.
That's right, and you cannot afford to start out flat, and that's exactly what has happened here for Rizal, trailing Valenzuela by 4.
Hopefully a better quarter soon for Rizal, but they're just down by 4 as we've passed our 5-minute mark in this first period. Rizal looking to take their time. Tagorda has it. Inside on sportsmanlike foul. It was between Baluyot and number 27. That is Cordova.
We didn't really catch that action, but of course our referee is always eagle-eyed seeing those kinds of action, and referees will need to review this.
So as of right now, let's take a look on what exactly happened. It was an off-ball contact. Oh, we saw Baluyot perhaps hit Cordova with an elbow.
Yeah, easily a minimum of an unsportsmanlike foul on Baluyot, but of course the referee sometimes they interpret that as intentionally trying to hurt the opponent with a closed fist. Although I'm not sure if he connected.
Actually, Coach, medyo malas because yung ganti yung lagi nakikita sa mga ganyan.
Oh, yeah. That's something that you will need to learn, and again, you also have to be aware where the referees are. Again, I'm not trying to teach dirty tricks to our viewers, but then again, that's something that you really need to be aware of.
That's why it's called second motion, because you know, kita talaga lagi yung the second one who makes the contact, not the first one. So it is indeed called on John Denver Baluyot. So that'll mean 2 freebies for Cordova and 1 more possession for Valenzuela.
Yeah, so that's an unsportsmanlike foul. So 2 free throws plus ball possession for Valenzuela, while Baluyot will need to sit 3 playing minutes.
First one is good for Cordova. And as he takes this 1 more free throw, let me thank Congressman Eric Martinez and Barangay Parada Kapitan John Michael Lahero for hosting today's game. And of course, thank you as well to former Senator Manny Pacquiao, to Commissioner Keith Picazo, to Executive Director J.R. Novarro, and to every junior MPBL officer. Valenzuela with the possession right here, Cordova receiving it. He directs the play. A screen, but he's swarmed by 2 red shirts and they get the steal. Here we go, Manansala unable to sink that 2-pointer, but they still get it back. Tagorda deciding to reset the offense. Shot clock down to 10, picked up by Cordova. Tagorda sends it to Ladica, low post, now inside the paint. And a foul going to be called. It looks like a technical foul called on Ladica.
And if you're Rizal, it's you're 4-2. There's no need for you to be losing focus. It's very early in the ball game, and you cannot afford for these things to start piling up on you.
And you know, Coach Noy, among many things, basketball is a mental game. Kung sino unang maasar, yun yung talo.
Especially if you do that in front of the referees, of course, you're always going to get caught. And that's something that Genre Ladica will need to be very careful of.
Again,
Remember, he was already called for a personal foul earlier, so that's 2 early fouls on Genre Ladica.
Okay, let's take another look at this replay.
Although he did not connect.
Another angle. Not only was he close to a referee, but he was close to a camera.
He actually did not connect.
So as of right now, Valenzuela having the upper hand. And Rizal obviously looking to have a physical game, but was over physical in that sequence.
But you like how Valenzuela is not backing down, pushing right back. And that's the attitude you want to see coming from a team still winless in 5 games.
And again, that has been, or that will be the challenge, Coach. Itong Valenzuela, the stability, mental stability. Ito naman Rizal, the complacency.
So we're pretty much in, midway through the second season of Manny Pacquiao's junior MPBL. So there did not connect. But again, Valenzuela playing already their 6th game while Rizal playing their 7th game already.
But right now, we see itong si Laksa and si Ladica talking right now as we're taking another look in the replay. So I think it's all good between him and Laksa. Again, basketball is, aside from a mental game, it's an emotional game.
Well, you can argue on that play, Ladica did not connect, but still you could see there was an intention to try and hit Laksa in that play. So that's still going to be an unsportsmanlike foul called on Ladica. Actually, if he connected, he could have actually been upgraded to a disqualifying foul.
Actually, Coach, yung initial call, if I'm not mistaken, it was a technical only. It's na-upgrade na siya ngayon into unsportsmanlike. So that's 2 unsportsmanlike in 1 quarter for the Rizal switch fiber.
And more importantly, Ladica will need to sit for 3 playing minutes. So this could be an opportunity actually for Valenzuela to make their own run. So I think we're going to have free throws first. I believe it's D stepping up and replacing Genre Ladica. So 2 free throws here, and then Valenzuela will get their own 2 free throws and keep ball possession. So this could be a major turning point if Valenzuela will be able to take advantage.
Certainly, we're all hoping that the home team not going to waste their chance, as D will go 1 out of 2. And this time it's Mr. Laksa once again hitting the freebies. He was able to complete a 3-point play a while ago. Under 4 minutes remaining. First one won't hit for Mr. Laksa, as he's averaging almost 4 points a game and almost 3 rebounds. 15 minutes of play. 40 seconds to shoot. Laksa, the one to bring it out, sends it to Cordova. The pick provided for him. Double team on Cordova. They weren't able to catch it. Meanwhile, Rizal unable to finish, but D cleans up his teammates' mess.
Sure, Valenzuela cannot afford to give these easy opportunities, multiple shots at the basket for Rizal.
Cordova sends it to Laksa. High pass. And that is out of bounds, as they were butterfingers on that one.
Case of miscommunication that time for Valenzuela. And interesting how we still haven't seen Ace Baldomero check in. But he is on the bench for Valenzuela.
Probably one of the game plan nito ni Coach John Velasquez. Perhaps surprise the opponent. But as of right now, a traveling violation turnover for Rizal.
Well, I guess Coach John Velasquez trying to maximize, the endurance of Ace Baldomero, putting him in, going up against the second or third group of the Rizal Switch Fiber, and see if anyone can match that energy.
But as of the moment, it's Laksa making some noise on the side of Valenzuela.
Yeah, already Laksa with 6 points in the game.
Meanwhile, the steal and the make, courtesy of Patrick Hugan. We've talked about him as well.
They finished with 15 points in their last game, and looks like it could be a springboard for good things to come for Patrick Hugan.
So a lot of potential contributors for the side of Valenzuela. As Rizal now, nowhere to go. D will fire one. Unable to hit. Basket and one. No one was there to pick up Ferriols as he has a chance to make it a three-point play. Let's take another look. The three for D, and turning garbage into gold for that pound-for-pound fitness. Foul counted move was Ferriols.
Right place at the right time for Ferriols. No one there to box him out. Too late of a challenge, giving him an opportunity for a three-point play.
As of right now, we've crossed our 2-minute mark in the first. And again, as he's taking this bonus free throw, he makes it a three-point play.
We see Ace Baldomero finally checking in for Valenzuela. And we're gonna expect him to really put on a lot of energy and adrenaline on the floor, having sitted out the first 8 minutes of the first quarter.
Baldomero not wasting any time. And he instantly runs down the court, but possession, I believe, going to stay. Or our officials will correct it. It will go to the other side.
So right now, it's still an 18-14 advantage for Valenzuela.
Right now, D will hand it off. Manansala attacking, taking matters into his own hands.
Very athletic play right there for Manansala, splitting the defense, finishing with that easy 2 points.
Murillo, that was intended for Javier. They swipe it out of bounds. Possession staying with Valenzuela.
If I'm not mistaken, there's Manansala playing for either the NU Bulldogs or the Bullpups. Pretty much plays similarly as this Manansala guy, can jump out of the building.
Right now, a nature spring timeout going to be called by Coach John Velasquez as we'll take another look. Manansala attacking the rim, finishing for two. And we shall be back after a short break.
The mentality of Rizal, Switch Fiber 18 under would be their advantage for this game. Before the game start nga, nakausap ko ang ilang players ng Rizal at talagang confident at malaki ang kumpiyansa nila dahil aside from they are school-based team, they already know what they need to do and how to focus during the game. Coach Diana Sasito mentioned a while ago that they really have a positive mindset because he believes that this is also the way to have a good game. And in fact, Coach Diana Sasito and their assistant coaches is also a former player and a coach of National University. Kaya siguro maganda ang mentality ng ating Rizal Switch Fiber 18 under. Let's see kung ano ang ipapakita nila at kung makukuha kaya nila ang panalo for this game. Joe and Noy.
Thank you very much, Nicole, for that report. And again, who wouldn't be confident if you're at the top part of the standings with a 4-2 record? But that is the challenge, you know, to not be overconfident today.
Yeah, of course, how do you harness that confidence? Because some teams, yung confidence, that's something that they use positively. Yung confidence na we cannot allow you to hang around with us because we're supposedly a better team than you. But right now, right there, not able to box out Lago on that offensive rebound.
As of right now, it's a 6-point advantage. We're down to 3 seconds. They hand it over. They need to put one up. And they don't. As the time expires, we end our first period with a 22-16 score, a 6-point lead. The Valenzuela progress in the driver's seat. As once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, and we shall return. Back to the action right here for the start of the second quarter in this battle between Valenzuela and Rizal. And once again, a big thanks to Congressman Eric Martinez and Barangay Parada Kapitan John Michael Lahero for hosting today's game for our Junior MPBL Season number 2. And of course, don't forget to tune in as well to the upcoming Junior MPBL 21 and under D-League that will be happening on July 15. Make sure to follow our page, Facebook page, Junior MPBL, and Instagram page at Junior MPBL for the details.
So again, that's something to look forward to, especially right now we're watching the 18 and under division. So when they get past this age group, they already have something to aspire and look forward to. The 21 and under pretty much completes that ladder, going to the senior MPBL. So coming from the 14 under, 16 under, 18 under, 21 under, and then of course the next step should be being able to play for their senior MPBL counterparts.
Definitely thrilling times ahead to witness not so young men pursue their dreams of climbing to professional basketball. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the score. It's 24-16 right now. First bucket of the second quarter was sank by Valenzuela.
And I don't think anyone expected Valenzuela to be ahead after a quarter of play. But they've been shooting very well from the field, 50%, and from the three-point area, very good percentage, 3 out of 6. And this has really surprised this results with Fiber squad.
And Perdido once again working in the paint, putting up the hustle for Valenzuela. A minute gone by in our second period. Rizal trying to make something. Inside, Franco, not that time. Ladica, monster board, still no good. Still with them, the fadeaway still won't sink, but Ladica says enough is enough. Basket and one.
Right now, Ladica playing pretty much on borrowed time, picking up 2 early fouls, and of course cannot afford to pick up anything unsportsmanlike in nature, as he was already called for one in the first quarter.
Extending, or rather cutting the lead to 8 right now. A chance to cut it even shorter. But he won't. But they get it back. Franco inside against 3 white shirts as they fire for 3, and that will go in courtesy of Sean Vergara.
Sean Vergara, always a forgotten man, especially with guys like Ray John, Ladica, Franco, Baluyot, Season. But he has been a very consistent contributor for Coach John Necesito.
Meanwhile, Baldomero, a 3 of his own. He will miss. They get it back. Murillo being double teamed by Ladica and Pascual as Ladica gets it. He's up ahead. He glides for 2 points.
That is really the strength of the game of John Ray Ladica, picking up passes and stealing on ball and finishing in transition.
Right on cue, but he lost the basketball. Here comes Murillo for Val City. They lose the basketball as well, but they get it back. Baldomero, the spin, the attack. Could have been a good drop pass, but a foul called on Rizal, their first of this quarter.
Well, you would have liked Baldomero to go for the shot upon hearing the whistle, but again, that's how unselfish he is, and that's why I'm really bothered that he is the top scorer for Valenzuela, averaging 11 points per game. Because yung nature niya talaga is to give up the basketball, make the right plays, and for Valenzuela, they really need to look for that offensive go-to guy.
And hopefully he can level up his game because yun nga, coach, we're not familiar with that kind of Ace Baldomero.
Again, we did cover him during the 16 under playing for Leyten, has now moved up and moved on to the 18 and under division, now playing for Valenzuela.
It's good to see, you know, binibibigay kay Ace Baldomero yung responsibility, but this time, a block. Another try, Ace Baldomero, the spin, the attack, unable to scoop it up and in. Out of bounds. And it's a shot clock violation called on Val City.
That's the kind of energy you're always gonna get from Ace Baldomero. Yung second jump niya is pretty much as high as his first jump, but unfortunately in that play, unable to convert.
And from a 10-point lead to start our second period, it's now just a 3-point lead. As a 3. Will that count? That was by Chris John D. That could have tied the ball game if that's counted. As Coach John Necesito arguing that it should be counted.
I was actually watching the off-ball action from Ladica and John Wayne De La Cruz, as De La Cruz was trying to deny itong si Ladica from the ball full court.
But good thing for Rizal, that will indeed count, as we now have a deadlock. So that's 10-0. 10-0 run for the Rizal switch fiber.
That's a very quick 10-0 run. In less than 4 minutes of play, they've already tied the ball game.
But as of right now, Ace Baldomero will bring it down. Hoping to score for his squad, as it's Cordova, the lefty, unable to sink that mid-ranger. High pass, intercepted by Baldomero. He sizes up, sends it to Cordova. Inside, good passing, nowhere to go. They lose the basketball. They keep it alive, but it's out of bounds. Possession going to stay with Valenzuela.
Still a lot of time under shot clock, 12 seconds. But right now, the offense of Valenzuela going nowhere, as Rizal now starting to tighten the screws on defense.
So De La Cruz finds Cordova for 3. That won't connect. And here we go, Vergara, long pass, Mendoza receiving it. And the break, unable to sink it. Monster rebound and the put back. Courtesy of John Denver Baluyot.
So these two guys, Baluyot and Ladica, making up for their boo-boos in that first quarter, both being called for unsportsmanlike fouls.
Meanwhile, a couple of substitutions on the side of Coach John Velasquez, as we've hit our 5-minute mark in our second period. So far, a 2-point lead for Rizal. They fire for 3. He's not yet done.
It's now 3 3-pointers for John Lloyd Ball, and someone will need to keep an eye on him.
John Lloyd Bohol. Spark plug off the bench, giving Valenzuela a 1-point gap. But for now, let's turn it over to Miss Nicole Lim for a report.
Dito naman sa Valenzuela Classic Junior, Coach John Velasquez is pushing his players to be more confident. As what he mentioned, they always have a good play on the first half, but during the last minutes of fourth quarter, nagko-collapse at nagkakaroon sila ng lapses. Dala na rin daw siguro ito ng pressure, but still, he's looking forward for this game. Sabi nga niya, sana mas lumakas na ang loob ng mga ito since the venue of our game today is in Valenzuela City. Back to you, Cho and Noy.
Thank you very much, Nicole, for that report.
Well, I guess it's not only confidence, but consistency for Valenzuela. Cannot afford to play less than 40 minutes of action here in the junior MPBL, as teams here are very competitive, and any kind of amount of minutes that you slack off, you will definitely pay for it.
And indeed, the margin of error is small, as we see Baluyot once again converting.
You can see now, itong Rizal just turning the switch on here in the second quarter, have outscored itong Valenzuela 14-7.
But it's still a close ball game, just a 1-point gap for Rizal, as we're heading into our 3-point mark of the second period. So that's no more fouls to give on the side of Valenzuela. Meanwhile, Mendoza, the spin, the attack. 2 freebies coming up for the big guy.
And of course, Baldomero should be familiar with these guys, having played against itong sila Axel Mendoza in the 16 and under division. But you can see right there, even with the length of Axel Mendoza, Ace Baldomero still giving a decent challenge, but will be called for that foul.
First one won't go for Axel Mendoza. Averaging almost 9.5 points per game, almost 5 boards in a single dime in 18 minutes of action.
He used to be very dominant in the 16 and under division, averaging a double-double. But moving up to the 18 under division, nice to see him starting to adjust with the level of action being played here.
Meanwhile, inside, that is good, courtesy of number 21, JV Ventura.
Ties a ball game at 31.
As Chris John D unable to answer back.
We're having a lot of minor skirmishes on the floor. But for Rizal, need to stay composed and focused. Do not want further unsportsmanlike fouls called on them.
So it's Axel Mendoza once again at the free throw line. A chance to give his squad the lead. As once again, we're live here sa Bahay ni Jawo in Valenzuela City. Again, thank you very much to Congressman Eric Martinez and to Barangay Parada Kapitan John Michael Lahero for hosting our junior MPBL games today.
And what I like about Rizal, even if they turned on the switch on their defense, they haven't been fouling too much. Only a single team foul called in this second quarter.
Right now, Valenzuela down by 2. That is tapped away. Here comes Rizal, but Ace Baldomero gets it back. He's the one to bring it down. He continues to attack. A bump and a foul going to be called on Rizal. Only their second team foul.
But what you like about Ace Baldomero on that play, heard the whistle, immediately went for the shot. So that will mean 2 free throws for him. So far, Ace Baldomero has not yet scored in this game.
Again, you mentioned it, Coach No, he averages 11 a game. Not the guy we expected to carry the scoring load for Valenzuela, but again, nonetheless, sabi nga nila, pressure makes diamonds.
And definitely an opportunity for Ace Baldomero to be a major contributor here. Of course, he does do the other stuff for them. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal per game.
But he goes 0 out of 2. As Mendoza on the other side attacked behind the back move. Unable to put that in off the glass. As that'll mean 2 free throws this time for Rizal switch fiber.
Again, we always talk about how interesting it is for us to be covering these players from the first season to the second season, how much they've developed. But itong si Axel Mendoza, from his very first game in the 18 under division and how he's playing now, he's a little more confident and already showing that he can handle the basketball also. So, you know, it's not only season to season, but game to game ang improvement for Axel Mendoza.
Definitely thrilling to witness the upgrade in his game, as he now has 10 points. A chance to make it 11. He doesn't, but they get back. Franco, 3-point swing for Rizal.
And right now, Rizal is just bullying itong Valenzuela, especially inside. Franco there with offensive rebound and the bulldozer move to get his 2 points.
So 1 minute and 34 remaining in our second. So far, it's a 5-point lead for the Rizal switch fiber. As Valenzuela having possession, Laksa trying to find his teammates. They start the play. Sends it to the corner. Cordova for 3. That won't hit. Here comes John Denver Baluyo taking flight. Lays it in. Foul going to be called. 2 free throws coming up for Baluyo.
And if you look at the players of Rizal's with fiber, pretty much identical the way they play. Guys like Axel Mendoza, John Denver, Baluyo, itong si Franco, they're all Manansala also. Very tall and lanky and attacks the rim very aggressively.
A lot of swingmans, if I may say so.
And they play a lot alike, except maybe for Franco, it's more of a bruiser inside. Diba, whenever he attacks the basket, yung madiin yung finish niya lagi, as opposed to itong sila Baluyot, Valenzuela, and Axel Mendoza, a little more on the finesse side.
Nonetheless, convenience to have having those guys. But as of that time, it's only a long two for Cordova.
That was a long two, but still for Valenzuela, you'd want them to continue shooting from the outside where they built a lead earlier.
Axel Mendoza not done with his deeds. Extending it to 6. 32 seconds remaining. Baldomero sends it to Cordova. Another try. Unable to go back-to-back hits. Meanwhile, Axel Mendoza once again, he's not yet done.
Axel Mendoza now with a game-high 14 points for Rizal.
How do you like that one? Meanwhile, able to score on the other side is Bautista. Last 6 seconds remaining. That is good from Rizal Switch Fiber 3-pointer. Hail Mary. And that will end our first half. It's 44-35, a 9-point gap. As the Rizal Switch Fiber this time in the driver's seat. As let's take another look. Jan Denver Baluyot firing from deep. Really hit it from downtown. As once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2, and we shall return.
Empowering women by redefining beauty. Found active for quality sportswear. Reach Jacob Collection for affordable but quality daily perfumes. Junior MPBL would like to thank Honorable Congressman Eric Martinez and Barangay Parada Kapitan John Michael Ajero for hosting today's ball games.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL
would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benito's, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL
would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benito's, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,
Back to the action right here in Bahay ni Jawo in Valenzuela City. Of course, thank you very much to Congressman Eric Martinez and to Barangay Parada Kapitan John Michael Ajero. It's 44-35, a 9-point gap. Again, the Rizal Switch Fiber the visiting antagonists in the driver's seat. And what a have it has been, but on that latter part of the second quarter, Rizal was able to take a big lead.
Yeah, pretty much a story of 2 quarters as Valenzuela was able to outscore Rizal 22-16 in that first quarter. Then Rizal turning the script, outscoring Valenzuela 28-13. Of course, you've got the leading scorers already. 2 players for Rizal in double digits. Axel Mendoza with 14, John Denver Baluyot with 10, D with 6. While on the other side, Valenzuela on the strength of 3 3-pointers. John Lloyd Ball leading the way with 9 points. Ventura with 5 and Lago with 4. And if you look at the numbers, very close, 47% for Rizal in that first half, 42% for Valenzuela. And for Valenzuela, they need to get hot again from the outside. That's what really sparked their strong first quarter start. And right now, Rizal trying to turn on the defense, forcing a lot of turnovers to Valenzuela. 9 turnovers now, which they have converted into 11 points off turnovers, 9 of which they've scored from the fast break.
So definitely Rizal looking to be more consistent. Ito namang Valenzuela, so far it has been John Lloyd Bohol carrying for them, and hopefully he'll send more of his 3-pointers home, sweetie home.
Yeah, definitely. But right now, I'm pretty sure Rizal has already made the adjustments. Cannot leave John Lloyd Bohol open from the 3-point area. I think it was a few games ago where he exploded for 5 threes in one quarter. But unfortunately, it was a loss for them. And hopefully, in this game, they can pick up their first win.
That is indeed the goal. But as of right now, Franco able to get a bucket, the first one in our second half. Murillo, not that time. Good defense for Rizal.
They really need those outside shots and so to open up the interior defense of Rizal. Of course, they have the bigger players in Baluyot, Mendoza right now on the floor.
Early foul. Not even a minute gone by. That's the first team foul of Valenzuela, or rather of Rizal.
That's something Valenzuela can try to take advantage of, use the aggression of Rizal to be able to fish for those fouls.
Laksa decides to attack, not that time. Meanwhile, it's still with them. Murillo drawing himself a foul, so that's foul number 2 already for Rizal.
But for Valenzuela, these 2 or 3 straight plays where they've been trying to drive right down the middle, right into the cut of the defense, and there's no way they can really a very hard time for them if they try to attack the middle of the defense ng zone nitong Rizal.
So right now it's still with Val City. Murillo, baseline inbound, finds his teammate. They fire for 3. That will sink courtesy of John Lloyd Bohol.
Ready for 3-pointers now for John Lloyd Bohol. Good job for Rizal trying to locate him.
Meanwhile, Sean Franco sends it out. They pass it around the arc. Chris John D answering back with a triple.
Well, that's one way to neutralize John Lloyd Bohol. Hit from the other side.
Fighting fire with fire indeed. But right now, Bohol, nowhere to go, sends it out. Murillo for 3. Won't connect. Rebound Mendoza. Quick pass. Austria on the other side against Bohol. No ID, no entry, says Laksa. But they still have it as Franco is short on that attempt.
Right there, Perdido able to control the rebound.
Meanwhile, Murillo unable to control the dribble as he will turn it over to Rizal switch fiber.
Cannot afford to keep turning the ball over as Rizal has already built a huge 11-point lead, looking to add on to that total.
So far leading the charge, Axel Mendoza. As you see, Pascual thought about the shot, but D, another try from deep, unable to hit. Rebound Valenzuela.
Well, the high ball pressure being implemented by Rizal switch fiber, looking to force turnovers.
Offensive foul going to be called on John Murillo. Great sell.
Yeah, good defense there by Jeremy Pascual. Saw that move coming from a mile away, so very easily able to sell that call.
As of right now, it's an 11-point lead for the Rizal switch fiber. A double-digit lead in this one. D drops it. Mendoza backing down Laksa. Mendoza called for a traveling violation.
That's something that Axel Mendoza will need to learn. Know where the double is coming from. He spun baseline right where the help was.
So we see Mendoza get a trip to the bench. So Valenzuela now a chance to capitalize without the presence of Mendoza.
Actually, if you look at the lineup of Rizal, they do have a lot of bigs, but they're more of wingmen. So the versatility, the ability to adjust the game plan, switch it from having to play in the half court or try to attack in transition, very easy for this Rizal switch fiber.
Speaking of easy, good defense in that play. And on the other side, able to reject was Ventura. As possession going to stay on the side of the Rizal switch fiber.
I like how Valenzuela getting better at getting back in transition. That's 2 blocks for them now in this third quarter.
And we're nearing our 5-minute mark. 11-point lead. Chris John D for 3. Won't connect. As Ventura grabs it for Valenzuela. Here comes Laksa. Tapped away by D, but possession staying with Valenzuela.
Good tap out there for D. That ball was supposed to go to Perdido, who was already inside the paint.
The progress. The attack. No good for Cordova. And a whistle once again. That's a foul going to be called on Perdido.
The time Perdido was use of excessive force. That's 3 personal fouls now on Perdido, who will need to sit.
So that's one less big guy on the side of Valenzuela. Still an 11-point lead. And here we go. Baluyo taking it to the rack, but he won't convert. Oh, that was a good pass, but swiped away. Attacking the lane, Bohol. Not that time. Out of bounds. Possession going to stay with Val City.
That's going to be the next adjustment in the game of John Lloyd. Ball cannot just be a spot-up shooter, as Rizal now looking to make him put the ball on the floor and see what he can do.
Inside. Ventura, tough shot. Won't sink for him. Ladika brings it down, not wasting any time. The bump. The scoop. Oh, crazy shot from Ladika.
No-look shot right there for John Ray Ladika. Did not even need to look at the rim.
Extending the lead to 13. As it's Laksa able to draw himself a foul. 2 freebies coming up for Laksa.
Again in the open court. Medyo good luck na sa defender if you're trying to stop John Ray Ladika. Sorry, Ray John Ladika.
So far, James Mark Laksa has 4 points, 3 boards, and a single dime. As his first freebie is no good.
Of course, Laksa also a very valuable player in the rotation of Coach John Velasquez. Can do it all as one of the guards.
But will go 0 out of 2 as D sends it inside. Manansala fading away. That is overshot. And here goes Val City. But Chris John D gets it back. High pass. Alley-oop play from D to Baluyot.
It looked like Baluyot had more than enough time to make the adjustment in mid-air.
But it's another steal. Baluyot. Crazy pass. Nonetheless, Ladika has it inside. Draws himself a foul.
See there. Ray John Ladika very disappointed at Baluyot going the other way when he was already open. He thought Vergara was gonna cut into the lane, but itong si Vergara was spotting up from the 3-point area. But nevertheless, ball still going to Ladika and will get 2 chances from the free throw line.
First one is no good. As we see Coach John Necesito hopefully leading his boys to another victory today. Second freebie on its way. 1 out of 2 for Ray John Ladika. Valenzuela, a chance to respond. They're now down by a bunch. So make that no more fouls to give for Rizal, as they've notched their 4th team foul. Valenzuela now having possession, but still even with no more fouls to give, Rizal implemented that full court press, and Nadiga, sorry miss, but the putback is good.
He will be credited with an offensive rebound and the 2 points, of course. So better for his stat padding. Itong si John Ray Ladica.
Let's take another look. That save, and Ladica, sorry miss, but will get a rebound and will make it nonetheless. Once again, a Nature Spring timeout called right here. Back to the action right here. That timeout was brought to you by Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines. As it's now a big lead earned by the Rizal Switch Fiber, and layers of problems on the side of Val City, but able to convert on the acrobatic move is James Mark Laksa.
Also, we see Baldomero now back on the floor for Valenzuela. This is a huge 16-point lead, and can't afford for this lead to balloon further.
Manansala attacking the lane, unable to find an opening, but that's 2 freebies coming up for Manansala.
And again, visibly vertically outmatched itong Valenzuela. You can see very tall and lanky players for Rizal Switch Fiber, and right now that versatility and the mobility of the bigs of Rizal becoming a problem for Valenzuela.
So it's now a 17-point lead. A chance to extend it for Aaron Manansala. Under 2 minutes remaining in the third. He goes 2 out of 2, officially an 18-point lead for the Rizal Switch Fiber. So far, John Lloyd Bohol, the leading scorer for Valenzuela, has been quiet. Meanwhile, the attack, laying it up, but not the in. And here goes Bautista, finds Laksa, good passing, Baldomero finishing in transition.
It's going to be imperative for Valenzuela to really be efficient and quick on their press break.
We're nearing the last minute of our third chapter. Vergara has it. He attacks the lane, high arcing shot, that is good.
Right now, Vergara trying to join the scoring parade now with 5 points in the game.
Meanwhile, they send it out. Oh, the steal by Rizal Switch Fiber, and a counter steal by Valenzuela as they attack. Behind the back, fading away, unable to complete it. But a putback is good, courtesy of Ace Baldomero.
This is the kind of energy you're always going to expect from Ace Baldomero, able to clean up the miss of his teammates.
But as of right now, it's a huge mess that he will have to clean up. As Ladiga, basket, the end one for Ray John Ladiga as he continues his bad deeds. Let's take another look. Ladiga losing it initially, but able to get this pound for pound fitness foul counted move.
Just a great job of Rizal really spacing out that floor, really getting so much space inside the paint, and no one there to be able to stop and contain John Ray Ladica. Ray John Ladica, I keep on mixing up his name.
Again, Ladiga able to complete the 3-point play and adding salt to the wound of this Valenzuela squad. Make that 11 points for him. As on the other side, I mean on the same side, Rizal able to convert. Meanwhile, Bohol, again fairly quiet, the leading scorer of Val City. This time basket and one on the side of Valenzuela. That is introducing himself, Rovi Pulido.
If you see itong Valenzuela, you can see a lot of talented players. Just a matter of really putting them in their proper roles. As you see right there, given the opportunity, Pulido able to finish on a three-point opportunity, but failing to convert.
Good rebound for Manansala. Here comes Tagorda. Nowhere to go. Mendoza for three. Won't connect. And that'll be it. After 3 quarters of play, it's 65-46. A dominating lead being handled as the Rizal switch fiber in the driver's seat of this game. And once again, this is Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2, and we shall return for the 4th and final chapter. Back to the action right here for the start of the 4th and final period. 65-46. Rizal in the driver's seat. But as of right now, let's think. Doride Bola ng Pinoy, pound for pound, be Liga ready. Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava. Drinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty. Pound Active for quality sportswear. Chris Jacob Collection for affordable but quality daily perfumes and Wing Bowl. It's like coming home. And of course, don't forget to tune in to the upcoming Junior MPBL 21 and under D-League. Again, definitely exciting times to witness. Not so young men pursue their dreams of climbing to professional basketball.
Of course, just tune into our social media pages for any updates on the opening of the Junior MPBL D-League that should be coming very, very soon.
And not to mention another program for Junior MPBL, the Junior MPBL Global. So stay tuned for the details as well on our social media pages. And of course, you know, we're here live in our Bahay ni Jawo in Valenzuela City, as we would like to thank Congressman Eric Martinez and Barangay Parada Kapitan John Michael Ajero for hosting today's games. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, unable to sync that was Ace Baldomero. As of right now, it's a 21-point lead, and he increases it. It's Franco hitting from downtown.
Right now, you're seeing that confidence that Coach John Necesito was talking about earlier. That play, Franco able to pull up from 3. And right now, they're pretty much getting away with anything that they want. Well, for Valenzuela, after a very strong start in that first quarter, finishing with 22 points, only a combined 24 points since then.
And itong Rizal switch fiber showing us the reason why they're currently 4-2. Good for the number 4 in the rankings in our 18 under North Division standings. Of course, only Bulacan, San Juan, and Manila on top of them. But ito namang Valenzuela, again, unfortunately, we've talked about the 0-5 in 11th place, the last in the standings. But it's Sean Franco still making some noise for the switch fiber.
And again, for any team, you know, it's a little too early, but talking about the playoff, this is a team that you want to avoid, especially with plays like that coming from Sean Franco.
That's a pound-for-pound fitness foul counted move, and not to mention a 3-point play completed.
Again, very scary itong lineup ng Rizal switch fiber because they can play very effectively in the half court, especially on the defensive end with the length that they have. And whenever they try to pressure the basketball, they're very efficient in finishing in transition. So far, 16 fast break points for them.
And again, just, you know, one of the reasons why Rizal is a deadly team. But itong Valenzuela, you know, Coach, we've seen a lot of hidden gems for them a lot of potential contributors, pero it just isn't really clicking for them so far.
Well, they still do have some time to figure things out, but right now, a little... Okay, just put the words right out of my mouth on that play from Ace Baldomero. Although nothing surprising because we've seen him been doing this even during the first season of the Manny Pacquiao Jr. MPBL. But nevertheless, cannot afford to sink further down the standings as they have already... This will be already their 6th game and still just might come out winless.
And again, time is not necessarily their friend as well. As we're already in the middle of our season, the chances to really get back to it is slim. Yeah, you will have to really find your groove. But as of right now, Rizal, again, a comfortable place so far. Interesting to see how deep they'll get in our regular season and how far they'll go in our playoffs. As Franco, no good, Mendoza still won't go.
Just imagine the confidence for a Franco to take the shot from the outside. You've got an Axel Mendoza right there underneath to try and clean up your miss.
And again, you've labeled him as a bruiser. I mean, first time ko makita ng bruiser na tumitira ng 3 points.
Well, I was just saying that compared to the other guys for Rizal Switch Fiber, you can see Axel Mendoza usually finishing on the finesse side of things. But to see Sean Franco will look for contact and will shoot from the outside. That's now 2 3-pointers for him here in the second half.
Again, talk about the confidence coming out, oozing out of this Rizal Switch Fiber squad as we head into this Nature Spring timeout. 78-46. Let's take another look all the way from the province of Rizal. That was Sean Franco hitting from downtown. And we shall take a short break. Back to the action right here. Again, that timeout was presented by Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines. As Valenzuela trying to stop the bleeding, but so far has failed to do so.
And right now, Ace Baldomero looking to take over the offense of Valenzuela, but just might be a little too late as they are now already down by a big 32 points.
Talking about this guy, Ace Baldomero, averaging again 11 points, almost 7 boards, almost a single block, and 1 steal per game. Has been doing all the work, and the only guy to average double figures in his squad. So that will tell volumes of how he has been carrying this Valenzuela city into this season.
But you'd like to see him be involved more off the ball movement. He's very good at moving without the basketball, and he's an easier guy to defend when he has the basketball because he's gonna go one way. He's gonna go straight to the rim. That outside shot not yet really consistent for Ace Baldomero. As you see, Sean Franco trying to get another pound-for-pound fitness move, but will not be able to convert.
I'm talking about this guy, Sean Franco, averaging almost 11 as well. 3 guys in the side of Rizal averaging double figures. Ladika, Franco, and Baluyot with 17, 11, and 10 respectively. Meanwhile, still we see the main guys of this Valenzuela Progress squad still playing. So it looks like Coach John Velasquez still not waving that white flag.
Well, again, you cannot afford to do that, especially for Valenzuela, who remain winless in 5 games, make that seemingly 6 with this game. You're really going to need to find a combination that works for you. Their starting 5 was actually very good. They were able to surprise the Rizal Switch Fiber, but they went to the bench, and the bench of Rizal Switch Fiber got into the game, really changed things, especially in that second quarter.
And again, their leading scorer with 17, Ray John Ledica. Wasn't even a starter, but as of right now, a 4-point play being pulled off by no other than Ace Baldomero, the leading scorer of his squad. And let's take another look on what exactly happened. As we see a couple of substitutions for Coach John Velasquez. And again, it's Ace Baldomero. A chance to make it a 4-point play. And he does, but still, it's a 19-point lead for Rizal. Still a lot of work to do for Val City.
A little difficult, down 29 with 5:30 remaining.
That won't go for Gurial. Baldomero still not done. Still wants to make something out of nothing. Still a tall order, literally a tall order in front of them. As Rizal still up by a bunch, 19 to be exact. And we're heading into the 5-minute mark of our 4th period.
So let's see if Rizal will start using up some clock.
And again, we've talked about yung wingmen nitong Rizal Switch Fiber. How about their guards, no? The likes of Chris John D rather, si Pascual, Tagorda, Vergara.
Again, they don't really need to do the heavy lifting on scoring, but very imperative that they are able to run the offense and also play excellent defense on the other end. It's usually they're the first line of defense, especially when they pressure the basketball. So again, just stressing the importance of the guards here for Rizal Switch Fiber.
Definitely a lot of assets on the side of Coach John Esesito. Never losing the instruments to pull off with a win. That is a missed freebie. Again, it's a 19-point lead for Rizal. 0 out of 2. And again, Chris John D, Sean Franco among the guys contributing aside from Ladica and Baluyot and Mendoza. As of right now, again, Valenzuela still not waving that white flag.
John Lloyd Bohol now with 14 points in the game. Trying desperately to provide a spark. He's only averaging less than 7 points a game, but already doubling that with 14.
And again, they will definitely need more of those. Ace Baldomero will need some help. As there's 6 minutes gone by in our 4th period. And so far, the tempo of this ball game has decreased as we're seeing a couple of new faces and new names being inserted to the lineup of Rizal. So it's Giral, number 11. We also have Gian Lampert, and itong si number 0, Klein Gregorio. Perhaps looking to get an increase of minutes in their next game.
It's actually Axel Mendoza already at the scorer's table, looking to check in.
So that's a familiar face. He's not included in those new faces that we're just seeing right now.
Again, it's a double-edged sword for the third stringers to be able to still get to play with some of the main guys like John Axel Mendoza, and also for Mendoza to be able to experience playing with the third group, trying to build chemistry with those guys.
And so far that was Seth Bautista able to score. As of right now, it's a 15-point lead. You know, still ample amount of time, but again, they will have to play near perfect basketball. Right now, Valenzuela not wasting any time. Murillo, basket, and one off the glass for the feisty John Ro Murillo. We'll take another look. Pulling up, rising up for that mid-range jumper. Basket and one, pound for pound, fitness, foul, counted move. Murillo unable to make it a 3-point play nonetheless. It's a 13-point lead. Or 23 rather.
Yeah, nevertheless, still getting outscored by Rizal here in the fourth quarter, 14-10.
And again, they will have to play near perfect basketball. But right now, another foul, or no, that's a turnover. And right now, talking about this Rizal Switch Fibers squad. As a team, they're second in points per game in this 1800 division with 78. Only down to Palawan, who averages almost 80 per game.
And already Rizal at their average, 79 points already.
Right on cue. It looks like they're not yet done as there's just under 3 minutes remaining in our fourth and final period. And also Rizal in the top 4 of rebounds per game as a team. Probably the result of their lengthy lineups.
And so far in this game, out rebounding Valenzuela 48-31.
So not to mention, they're also second in steals per game and blocks per game. Also third in fast break points per game.
So in this game, 14 steals, 2 blocks, and 21 fast break points.
So again, that will prove to us. Meanwhile, Murillo will miss, and Rizal just too much for this Valenzuela squad as we're heading into our twilight zone in just a bit. But still, Ace Baldomero not being removed from the floor.
That's the one thing I've always liked about this Valenzuela squad. Even when they're getting blown out, they still play the same way. They still try to claw their way back, but unfortunately, firepower really a problem for them at this stage, as we've only got one player scoring double digits with John Lloyd Bohol with 14.
And as our venue announcer announces, it's our last 2 minutes, but still nothing to be excited about if you're Valenzuela. And to add to those stats a while ago, the Rizal Switch Fiber #1 in points from turnovers in the league with almost 28 points from turnovers per game. If I'm not mistaken, they're top 5 in major statistical categories as a team. Right now, at the free throw line, as they're looking to hit that 80-point mark, but they still won't go. So itong si Baldomero still on the floor. Again, it's good for him. He's able to get his reps. Again, you really can simulate real life, real game situations at practice.
And you're definitely pretty sure that Ace Baldomero has really earned his minutes with the Valenzuela progress.
We've got a couple of new faces we're seeing on the side of Rizal Switch Fiber. Entering the game is Martin Pangilinan. So we also have itong si Guanse, played a while ago. And also we have number 4, itong si King Aurita. As of right now, it's a nature spring timeout going to be called by Coach John Velasquez. Still a big margin. Rizal still in the driver's seat as we shall return for more action. back to the action right here. Still, the Rizal switch fiber in the driver's seat as we're now down to our 1 minute and 32 seconds of the fourth period. Once again, thank you very much to Congressman Eric Martinez and Barangay Parada Kapitan John Michael Ejero for hosting the Junior MPBL games today. Thank you very much. And also to Dorayed Bola ng Pinoy, pound for pound, B-Liga ready, Nature Spring, the #1 bottled water in the Philippines. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty. Pound Active for quality sportswear, Chris Jacob Collection for affordable but quality daily perfumes, and Wing Bowl. It's like coming home. Thank you very much. And once again, we would like to invite everybody to tune in to the upcoming Junior MPBL 21 and under D-League. So just like what Coach Noy said a while ago, after the 18 under, meron ng magiging excited about ng ating players.
That's right. So that completes the cycle here for the Junior MPBL, that 21 and under D-League. An opportunity for the players to target something bigger. You know, your dream does not stop after the 18 and under. Of course, if you're not lucky enough to get into a big school program, having that advantage of another important step being provided to you by Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL, really something that they can learn, they can try to target moving forward.
And that's one of the things actually that the Junior MPBL is known for. You know, it's a platform for the kids to, you know, hopefully get a scholarship, get playing opportunities for schools. And last year, in the Facebook page of the Junior MPBL, meron tayong listahan. You know, I believe that's more than 30 players being recruited by schools in our country to play for them because of the Junior MPBL.
And it's not only the Junior MPBL, but also the MPBL gives an opportunity for aspiring players to make a name for themselves in Philippine basketball. And again, of course, a tremendous undertaking for our Senator Manny Pacquiao has really been at the forefront of grassroots development in sports.
Ngayon, Coach Noy, sabi mo nga, no, kompleto na yung process. It's not impossible. May makikita tayong naglaro from the 1400 division all the way to the senior MPBL.
And you'd like also for that to happen for a single team. Like, you know, playing for, let's say, for example, the Quezon Junior Huskers in the 14 under, moving up to the 16, 18, 21, and eventually able to play for the Quezon Huskers in the senior MPBL. Of course, we're just saying the senior MPBL here because just to put some context into the program being set forth by Senator Manny Pacquiao.
Again, definitely the sky is the limit for the kids, not only here, but for the whole Philippines. And again, you know, big thanks to former Senator Manny Pacquiao for presenting opportunities, non-stop opportunities for the kids and for aspiring basketball players in our nation. As we see, there's 21 seconds remaining, and I think it's safe to conclude Rizal will go home. The antagonists visiting the home team and, you know, pulling up an upset. That is our ball game.
Definitely a lot of work to be done here for Valenzuela. Still back to the drawing board after a very strong start, 22 points. Just scored 13, 11, and 10 in the next 3 quarters. You cannot afford to do that. You're going to need to learn how to play the full 40 minutes.
So Valenzuela still a lot of chance to get back at it, but for today, the last draft belonging to the Rizal switch fiber as it's 83 to 56. And once again, if you've watched our ball game, it was quite hard to decide, you know, ang ating Don Benito's best player of the game because, again, you know, the scoring, the contributions are very, you know, well distributed.
And just a total team effort for Rizal switch fiber. Parang feeling ko pwedeng pumigit ka and just point to someone on that bench, and for sure they've been able to contribute positively, even the guys coming off the bench. But I think the guy was very consistent for them all game long, finishing with a double-double. Sean Franco with 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. He was just imposing his will inside, and looks like he will be the best player of the game.
And indeed, we're just waiting for him to arrive in our place right here, of course, with our courtside reporter, Miss Nicole Lim. And now let's turn it over to her as she will introduce our Don Benito's best player of the game.
Kasama ko nga si Sean Kionel Franco from Rizal Switch Fiber. Congratulations for winning in today's game. Naging dikit ang laban nyo on the first half of the game, pero nakuha nyo ang panalo sa huling quarter. Paano naging sistema at paraan nyo for today's win, for winning today's game?
Yung unang-una pong ginawa namin, yung defense po, tsaka nakikinig lang po kami sa mga sinasabi ng coaches sa amin.
Pero ka bang gustong batiyan na pasalamatan na sumusuporta sa inyo ngayon?
Binabati ko po yung mga pamilya ko sa Mindanao. Lalo na po yung mga coaches ko, iyo family, yun.
Pasalamat rin tayo to our dear sponsor, Don Benitos, for providing a sumptuous Filipino delicacy to our player of the game. Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasaba. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Nicole. And once again, the multi-skilled Sean Franco carrying his squad into a dominating W, upsetting the home team. But still, action is not yet done, as we still have 2 more games on your way. 16 under coming up still between the Valenzuela Progress and the Rizal Switch Fiber, as this is once again the one and only Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season number 2.
Sa gustong gawin, isang pangarap, isang tagumpay. Gabay at pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa, ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba, pero isang halaga. Nagkakaisa, nagmamahalan, nagtutulungan. Liga ng bayan na to, mga kabataan na sugod.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, number 1, bottled water in the Philippines, pound for pound fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,